Namaste everyone, welcome again to Body Surfing Yoga. Another fun poses on the yoga and the asana practice would be the leg balances. So we're going to look into the alignment and the details of this series of poses. So let's begin by saying that normally when people do leg balances, they worry the most about like the leg that they're lifting as instead of the leg that we're keeping down to the floor. Remember that the leg that stays on the floor is your foundation. And when I say foundation is, if the foundation is shaky, the whole thing is gonna be shaky. Think of your body as a house. You want a solid foundation in order to be able to build the whole house, okay? So, one thing always to notice about the foundation, when the feet are down into the floor in terms of yoga. You have 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4. When they are in the floor, especially in leg balances, make sure you're pressing the same amount of weight in all those 4 points. Now, notice that the tendency, and you might notice that, is that when you're lifting one leg and you're losing balance, we tend to collapse all the toes together and lift up the inner arch. Okay, so I'm balancing not on my foot, I'm balancing on the edge of one foot. Okay, and that can create issues in the knees, problems in the hips. So you want to think of the foundation. Also, like yoga toes, which is a practice that takes over time. Spreading the toes, and it's funny when I'm in class, every time I say spread your toes, people do this. Okay. It's kind of the natural thing. But work on spreading the toes to prepare yourself for this kind of foundation. You know, let's think about the roots of the trees. You know, in order to have more balance, you want those roots to spread out and root into the earth. Okay. And that gives you more balance. Okay. Now, let's just do this. Stay on your left leg. Take your hands into your hips. And just lift the right leg, and now work on that. Notice that, and it's very subtle, but I'm moving my ankle a little bit because I'm not pressing the 4 points. Now I press and I found steadiness. Okay, and then from there you keep that leg strong. Now we're still a tree. You keep the leg, the quadriceps engaged, so you protect that leg. You protect the knee. Okay, to the other side. 4 points on the right foot. Lift up your left foot. The leg super strong. Okay. Feel the ground, and this is something you can work on, and you're gonna notice just by doing this very simple exercise, you're gonna be amazed how much strength and alignment you're creating on your foundation from the belly down. Okay. Now, same when you're working on this, you can do this for a little bit. This can happen too. From the belly down, we're grounded and everything, but we're forgetting from the belly up and we're getting lazy. No laziness on the upper back, okay? So from the belly down, think of the energy pulling you down, rooting you down to the earth. From the belly up, think of your energy pulling you up, making yourself longer, extending the spine in a way that you feel you're creating a space on each vertebra, okay? And then, one last part, very important in leg balances, in our balances as well. And through the whole practice, one thing we forget is that we drive the eyes to certain positions. It's called the drishti. The eyes are gazing in a very steady position, always. In the modern asana world, we have been forgetting how important the eyes are in the yoga practice. When I first learned yoga, the eyes were always going someplace, maybe to the thumb, maybe to the knees, maybe to the tip of the nose. They have a direction to go. Why? Because it makes you stay focused and concentrate. Especially in leg balances, I found that I gaze at a very steady point in the horizon. You know, I stay with something hopefully steady. If you're in a class, in a room full of students, and you feel like your eyes are not set into a very steady point, then someone balances right next to you and you're gonna balance just because of the energy around you. Okay, so that's one of the keys we learn actually in balancing poses. We learn that by focus our energy into a certain thing, we're not being managed by the external circumstances. We're using our own control. Okay, so moving to the next thing. Now we're gonna come up. I'm gonna reach all the way to Titthibasana Parangustasana. So next variation, let's say you have tight hamstrings, you're not ready. Let's say we're coming up with a knee up. Okay. This is something that is gonna apply, and I'm gonna have to go on the back. You gotta stay, when you start lifting up the leg, whether it's knee bend or leg up with a strap or not, you gotta stay with the sit bones together, right next to the other, and the chest and shoulder blades back. I'm gonna show it right here. Normally when we take the leg up, especially when we stand, this can happen. Okay, and we lose the alignment, therefore we can easily lose the body. We keep drawing both sit bones together and elongate the spine. No lazy upper back, strong upper back. Shoulder blades connected, chest is engaged, spreading the collarbone area. Okay. So this is another way you can do this. And the intention behind it is very important, to be really intentional about how we hold the leg balances. This is a lot of work if we do it very intentionally. If we're thinking, we're really like conscious about the feet, the standing leg, the upper back, the alignment, the leg we're taking out, the eyes, and the breath, obviously. Moving to the next one. You need a strap, a belt, you know, a rope, anything you can find at home. We move to the next variation of Titthibasana. Okay, so we're in the standing leg, and we take the leg up. Okay. Right now I'm gonna use both hands. There's so many variations, but right now I'm gonna use my hand. The tendency would be, we want the leg up so much that we roll the shoulders in, hugging each other. We keep rolling the shoulders down. We can connecting the sit bones on the same line. We keep the foundational leg strong, and we take it up. Now let's do it with one hand. The other hand goes onto the side. Extend the spine. Okay, and same concept. Okay, and I'm gonna show it the changes from the back. So what is the tendency? This. You know what we wanna do? Standing leg strong, connecting the sit bones together, extending the spine, rolling the shoulder blade back, and here. You can keep the hand on the hip or hand up. Chest is open. And then you work your way on taking the leg up. Now it's very important, put the strap around the ball of the foot. When you do that, you naturally are pulling the ball of the foot towards you and the heel back. And that makes you stand the hamstrings a little bit more. Last variation. Let's say you don't need the strap. And sometimes, even if your leg is not completely stand, it's nice to play with it, even if you miss a line. Okay? But let's say you want to do the full variation. Now, big question, should the hand go in or out? Different school, different way of thinking. I like it out because notice this, when I pull it in, my knee goes out. My hip is doing an external rotation, which doesn't help me with the internal rotation I need to do to extend my leg forward. So I like it out. Just like that, it prepares me better. So you take the leg up, and again, obviously in this kind, the shoulder is gonna come forward a little bit. You pull the shoulder blade back. You extend the spine. Hand on the hip, hand to the side. If you manage to do this with great stability, you can take the leg to the side, okay? But same concept. Keep the tailbone, the sit bones together. Keep extending the spine, opening your chest. I'm gonna show it on the back, because notice, I'm gonna do it the wrong way first. So you're gonna notice how the sit bones come up. So let's do this, which is the tendency. Notice how my hip and my pelvis is completely leaning towards the side. So when you're doing this, when you come up, see, there's too much external rotation. You wanna keep an internal rotation of the hip. And then you work on extending the leg, connect the shoulder blades, energy pulling you up, maybe the arm up, gazing to a very steady point.